Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here.
Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here.
Jacob here, meeting my icon, Catherine Isabel, Fantasy Lorenzo.
Wait, what did you say?
Fantasy Lorenzo.
Have a good one. You guys better subscribe and watch my friend on his YouTube channel. He is kicking ass.
It was a top-secret government project.
Pack them in ice. All of them.
Designed to create the perfect soldier.
No man would ever again have to die in the service of his country.
Cryogenically preserved.
Okay, guys. Memory clearance.
Genetically enhanced.
How's the picture?
Pretty ugly.
Very funny, very funny.
Programmed to obey.
They're at the tower. Okay, here we go.
Who are these guys?
30 hostages held inside the power station at the base of the structure.
I said shut up! We're inside.
Begin phase 2.
This marks the third successful mission for the Universal Soldier.
But there was something they didn't count on.
He's not responding. GR-44, do you read me?
At the end of the mission, he became completely unresponsive.
Inside the machine is a man.
Do you really think the Pentagon would allow the regeneration of dead soldiers?
Stop the girl. Shoot if you have to.
And all it takes
Veronica Roberts, TNA.
is one memory
You didn't do anything.
to awaken him.
Let's go! Hit it!
Traitor. Universal Soldier.
What the hell did they do to you?
Don't know. But I'm going to find out.
One can't be controlled.
Buckle up.
The other cannot be stopped.
This mission has been canceled.
I'm giving the orders from now on.
I'm gonna teach them all.
Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring another movie review. We're going to be continuing my reviews, prominently featuring martial artist stars, but as well this is sort of my action movie binge I've been on over the past week or so. Excuse me, while I scoot in due to my dog's changed position. But yeah, so we're just continuing the mood I've been on, and I'm not really planning on stopping. May try to break this up a little, some different reviews soon, but yeah, and this one is going to be talking about 1992's Universal Soldier.
Are we having fun yet?
The ultimate weapons of the future have declared war on each other.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Dolph Lundgren. Universal Soldier.
Stop. That is an order.
Directed by Roland Emmerich and starring Jean-Claude Van Damme as well as Dolph Lundgren and Ali Walker. It tells the story of Luke Devereaux, a former U.S. Army soldier who was killed in the Vietnam War in 1969 and returned to life following a secret military project called the Universal Soldier. However, he finds out about his past, even though his memory was erased, and escapes alongside a young TV journalist. Along the way, they have to deal with the return of his archenemy, Sergeant Andrew Scott, who had lost his sanity in the Vietnam War and became a psychotic megalomaniac, intent on killing him and leading the Universal Soldiers. So yeah, I did just review another Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, which came out in 1999, Desert Heat. But, I'm also really enjoying some of Scott Adkins' work, and I know they've done some films together. So what I've been doing is going back into Van Damme's filmography and just, rewatching some of his movies, and gaining more appreciation for him before I watch some of the work that he and Atkins have done together, which I think is good. I've already seen, I've seen a few of Van Damme's films in the past. Like, I've seen Time Cop, I've seen The Quest, I've seen, I think, most of Bloodsport at one point. I definitely want to check out more of his work, and I am thoroughly enjoying myself. There's also a couple more, I guess, serious or dark, more recent films he did, especially in the 2000s, I'm kind of curious about. But still, I think it's good to sort of touch on his more well-known films, and Universal Soldier is definitely one of them. And yeah, it's probably not a complete coincidence of the premise of this film and when it came out, because just a year before this, we had Terminator 2 Judgment Day. So obviously, yeah, there's some influence there to, at least the machine, or at least like almost like super soldier, type of thing, bringing people back. It's definitely very Terminator-esque for sure. But would I say it's a complete rip-off of Terminator? And I've seen critics also say it's like a direct rip-off of like Terminator 2. Not a whole lot, really. Once you just get past the, them being programmed to, kill and stuff type thing, it's, I don't know, it's not really all that similar, at least plot-wise, so I think they took a different turn with it. And I won't say I like this more than Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I even have a sort of a fondness for, Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. But I will say, some people would kill me for saying this, but personally, I actually think I enjoyed this film more than the first Terminator film. And maybe more than the third one. I did kind of enjoy Genesis, but I don't need to go into a whole comparison right now. I don't know, I appreciate the first Terminator film for what it is. James Cameron directed, of course. It's hard to beat that, and, Linda Hamilton and everything. But, I sort of preferred it when they gave Arnold Schwarzenegger's T-800 more of a personality in the other sequels, Terminator 2 and onward. I appreciate the simple nature of the first film, but for me, at least right now, Universal Soldier just sort of had more going for it against the first Terminator film. But again, I don't really want to make this, because that one was just more straight up, machine chasing after her, trying to kill her. And, that's fine for what it is. But anyway, I actually really enjoyed Universal Soldier, if I didn't make that clear enough. Like I said, I really gotta watch more of Van Damme's films. But in terms of what I've seen so far, this may be my favorite of his that I've watched. And, it's probably because of the genre or type of story it's, sci-fi action, so, that probably appeals more to me, I guess. I did like how it looked when they actually showed him the Vietnam War at the beginning. Van Damme seeing those innocents being killed and trying to stop, Scott, Dolph Lundgren's character. And, I think Van Damme does a pretty good job in this one. It's probably not, his greatest, acting performance, because he's, almost playing a machine type of character, right? Or at least devoid of emotion until he eventually starts feeling again. But, still, I think he did a fine job, and he definitely seems at least more relatable than Dolph Lundgren's character, who had, had a lot of other issues before all this. So yeah, I liked Van Damme in this movie, and then he also, like I already said, you have Dolph Lundgren. And I guess Dolph Lundgren, maybe not the greatest actor, but I'll say he makes a good bad guy. I think he had a decent amount of menace to him in this movie. He definitely has a physical presence for sure in this and some of the other films I've seen him in. He definitely brings a lot of energy to his performance in this one, whether how good you generally think it is or not. It definitely worked, and with that, I think there's really made you buy into the two's dynamic that dated back to the war and everything, so I appreciated that. And I don't have a picture of her right now, but Ali Walker, who played the journalist in this movie, I quite liked her as well. Which is funny because I just seen her while watching Sons of Anarchy, you know, which, you know, came out and, you know, which is just a few years ago. But it's just funny, I go back to watch this movie and all of a sudden I see an actor or actress I've just seen in a show I've been watching by chance. You know, she played a character named Agent Stahl in Sons of Anarchy, so it's fun to see her in this. And you know, she has a good personality that I think sort of sticks out in any role she's in. And she's definitely a good sort of foil to you know, Van Damme's very stoic character in this film. So I really like their dynamic as well. There's no really forced romance. You know, you can tell that she especially is starting to care for him. But they don't really make it a major focus or anything like that, so, you know, it's appreciated. Even though I would have been fine, you know, it's kind of is what it is. And there's some pretty good action scenes as well. It's definitely one of the bigger, in terms of like production value films, you'll see Van Damme in. There's some good chase sequences, some good, you know, of course, you know, shoot 'em up, you know, type sequences. But I especially like the film's final fight, you know, when Van Damme actually, or when Luke returns home, you know, meets his mother and father again, you know, on the farm, and there's a pretty good final fight, you know, in the rain. It's, you know, it kind of sets a good mood between him and Lundgren, and, you know, some decent choreography there. And I also liked when they first go after Van Damme and Ali Walker in the hotel, and Van Damme's just like taking down wall after wall trying to get her out. That's also pretty good. And the film is a bit brutal at times as well. I mean, Lundgren ends up impaled at the end of the movie and sort of chipped up. And then you also have moments like where Lundgren starts remembering things, and how he's just been driven mad and he thinks he's still in this war. So he literally breaks, like, the guy's wearing a helmet, he punches through it, then snaps the guy's neck and everything. So, you know, there's some decent things like that in this movie if that's what you're looking for. But yeah, I just really found Universal Soldier all around pretty enjoyable, and I'm honestly giving it a B+. Yeah, that's right, I liked it that much, and I'm definitely becoming more and more a fan of JCVD's, or, you know, Jean-Claude Van Damme's. This is a very fine film, and of course, Roland Emmerich would go on to direct the 1998 Godzilla movie, and, you know, that movie definitely has issues if you're a Godzilla fan, at least when it comes to Godzilla itself, but it wasn't like a poorly made movie, or at least I can't really knock him for that. But anyway, so yeah, let me know what you guys thought about Universal Soldier. I plan on watching the sequels they did at some point, and I've heard mixed things about them. But I know Scott Adkins is in the last one, which is cool, so, you know, I'll definitely want to get to that one. I think Goldberg was in The Return, so might be worth checking out. But yeah, as far as this one, you know, it just had a good mix of, you know, sci-fi action, you know, a couple of good fight scenes, and, you know, it had sort of that camp but not overdoing it type aspect to it too, and I really was entertained and charmed by Ali Walker and Van Damme's dynamic, especially in the diner. I think there's a fun scene where he just keeps eating, and, you know, the waitress and the cook just end up getting pissed off with him, and, you know, the guys start trying to fight him. You know, it's kind of a typical scene in these kinds of movies, you know, when they're like dragged out into regular society, but, you know, I thought it was definitely a fun moment as well. So yeah, you guys can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. I'm going to be seeing The Predator tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. Peace.